I was going to do a vlog in the car on the way to get the kids from school, but today's vlog is actually kind of important. And I'm not meaning to be an alarmist. Let me just spit it out there for you. If you're watching this, then I know you, odds are. And if you're a friend, that's fine. If you're family, that's fine. If you're watching this, you need to listen to what I've got to say to you, and listen hard. Our economy is getting ready to nosedive worse than it did in the 1930s. You can put that in the bank. You can bet on it. That is going to happen. You better have a side hustle. What I mean by that, something else you can do for money to add to what you've already got coming in. I'm retired and I've got a good retirement and I still hustle. My side hustle is as a consultant. When I first retired, I had like 5 different side hustles. Now I've got 2. One that is active, the other one will be soon. There is nothing wrong with earning extra money by the sweat of your brow. Scripturally, that's what you're supposed to do. If you have a good income, you still need to accent it by having something else bringing money in. I don't care what it is. It might be doing yard work, landscaping, chopping wood, selling firewood. You know, I saw a couple of little kids the other day on Hanover Road, going to and coming from, picking the children up and going to town, and they were selling some kind of drink or snow cones or something. I don't know what it was, but people were stopping. Take the initiative and find you something you can do for side money. I cannot emphasize that enough. I am not at liberty to tell you how I know this is going to happen. It is a matter of intel. And it's not some woo-woo thing out of the atmosphere. No, it's hardcore, hard across my desk information. That's why I'm telling you now. My best friend Jerry and I have been watching this stuff for a while, and he, without my resources, he still knows that it's getting ready to go south in a bad way. He said, well, we might have to eat those goats. And I said, no, what I do is I go shoot your goats, eat them first, and then we work on ours. But it won't get that bad for us, but we're 2 old men that have been looking at this for a long time and prepping for it. Nothing that happens, folks, is by accident. It really isn't. There are no coincidences in life. You've got an ineffectual group of folks at the helm in Washington. That's the best way I can say that to get around the algorithm on this thing. I slipped by it yesterday. There are things you can do for extra income. I've known guys that lived in a big city and went out and knocked on doors and had spray paint and brushes and regular paint and put house numbers on the curbs outside their houses. There's just all kinds of things. Walking dogs, mowing lawns, offering to clean up a yard, scrapping metal if you've got a way to do that. It depends on your circumstance and where you're living at. Vladimir Putin has declared martial law in all the regions where they have taken property away from Ukraine. Everyone needs to understand something. Vladimir Putin and Volodymyr Zelensky, neither one of these guys are good people, period. I feel sorry for the folks that live there. I actually have friends that live in Ukraine. You can believe that or not, but I do. I have friends that live in Russia. I actually do. From back in the bad old days. I pray for an awful lot of people. I pray for everyone watching this actually every day, every night. The thing I would suggest, I've alluded to this before, just a second, having to rub my left knee. I'm having some pretty severe leg pains today. The reason for that is kind of stupid, and then it's not. Yesterday and the day before, I worked out on a rowing machine. It also works my legs out. I've got to get leg strength back. Now, there are some basic things you need to look at. Number one, find you a water source. And it doesn't necessarily have to be potable water as long as it's not sewage. Ponds are fine. You can filter the water through socks if you have to, and then boil it to kill the leptosporidium, cryptosporidium, all the other things that are in water that can hurt you. But find you a water source. Have you some water storage. I store water, well, not store it, I use it as fast as I get it in here. But have a way to gather water. We're in an extreme drought right now. It's way past severe. All the South and Midwest pretty much is in a drought. The last time I saw it this bad was 1998. The fall rains have not arrived. And are they going to? I don't know. I sure hope so. We need it bad. We need a couple of weeks worth of rain. But there are still water sources here that I can go to for water. If you have a vehicle, service your vehicle and make sure it's in good working condition. Linda's Navigator's out there. We've done that. My son Chris Friday's going to work on a heater core, try to blow it backwards and clean it out. And if that doesn't work, then shortly thereafter, when he can get to it, he's going to have to change it out. He's got the brake parts to my van. I probably need to just get them back from him and sit in here and try to figure it out myself. It behooves you to be prayerful in everything you do. I know that I know there are folks, I've been scolded for this too, saying everyone needs to pray. Well, you do. Everyone needs prayer. Plus, our Maker loves hearing from us, folks. He really does. There are those in the heavens that rejoice every time we make a good decision and every time we accomplish something that is positive. There really are. All through the Old New Testament it talks about it. You've just got to be able to determine what it is they're speaking of. get close to God. If you have little children, you need to teach them about God, because God's real, and there are an awful lot of people out there right now that profess to be atheists and say they don't believe in a higher power. If you have any background at all in the real sciences, you can't help but come to the conclusion that this was all designed. I'm unapologetically Christian. I will tell you that right now. I make no bones about it. And I've caught some flack for some folks over that. But if you can, store you some food back. If you can, get something like that. Only better. This is my personal favorite. Have a means to defend yourself. Have a means to procure food. Go into the public library. If you don't have access to a computer, there are many books. Find one that's pertinent to your area and learn how to forage. Learn which plants are edible, which plants are medicinal. I know all that for where I'm at, and I need to write a book. I just haven't had time to, and that's probably going to be the next book I write. My wife's been on me to write it. I've got a lot of people that have been on it to write it, but I have so much of my time is dominated right now by family matters, business, and other things, that it takes time to think things out and write it down. When I wrote my 11 books that have been published, and the others all the way to 43 manuscripts, I didn't have to think. It just showed up and I put it on paper and it worked. I got awards for my writing. I have one or two, hanging in the parlor. And when Linda and I have our own home, that stuff's going with us and it's going on a wall. If I don't have a building out there, this will continue to be my office from now on. It's comfortable. It's what I'm used to. I got it like I want it. I will have someplace else to put my musical instruments. They won't be in here, but this will be where I do the other stuff. And this will be where I write. This is where I do my consulting business and other things I do for side hustles. You need to be able to do that. You know you better than I know you, so think about it. One of the things I've talked to Benjamin about, and he's amenable and agreeable, eBay, Etsy, Amazon, other sales ventures that you can do online selling on. And he's looking at that. Right now he's working on finishing his house on the inside. He built the room, now he's got it watertight. We went and we got him some propane so he can hook his heater up. That is what you need to do. Let me see who that is. Okay, it's going to have to wait. I'll call him back later. But find you something you can do for a side hustle. Benjamin used to haul scrap metal. He used to do yard work. He had a little miniature tractor and all the accoutrements with that, and he no longer has any of that, but he will in the future if that's what he wants to do. But have something you can do to make extra money. Right now, Europe is in a real bad place, and what I mean by that, they are in a place where they're not sure if they're going to be able to eat this winter, especially Germany, and they don't know what they're going to do for heat. Winter is coming in and they have really severe winters. We have pretty harsh ones here too sometimes. Of course, we live in what is called a temperate zone, but we had that polar vortex hit us a couple of years ago that killed a lot of stuff. It shut down the power grid in Texas for a long time. Well, we bought generators just because of that. When Linda and I get an RV, we're going to have a propane-powered generator, and I'll have a big tank set up there so that we're off the grid, off the electric grid full time. I'm going to use solar in that generator, and that's how I want to do it, simply because I don't want to be beholden to an electric company or have to deal with these outrageous electric bills. My last electric bill I paid was $783. My last water bill was $286. And the utility companies are just going to be, they're going to grab more and more. You need to be prepared for it because they have to feed the beast. But if you can set yourself up where you don't have to worry about it, you need to do so. Our pastor, they're about a third of the way into the parsonage, but they have a fireplace, a wood fireplace, and the boys and I are going to gather. I've got pecan trees all over the place, and so does Jerry, and you know, there's all kind. We've got a place where they're using it for a limb pile. We could take a chainsaw, and I'm probably going to buy a wood splitter, a gas-powered one. But you know, cut those chunks that long and that big around and split them, and load that stuff up and take it to Brother and Sister Fry and anybody else that needs it. But there are those that could do that for money, selling firewood. I know a Mexican guy in Davis that he makes his extra money selling firewood, and he does quite good at it. But that's all I was going to advise everyone today. Get you a side hustle. I have friends that are in business, like my second youngest adopted son, Mike. He and his father have a business, and they pretty much have their hands full with that, but it's a business that pays them well. My youngest adopted son, Matt, basically runs things for Jerry, and Matt has an extremely keen mind for organization and finance. And those two boys together remind me of a young me, like two split personalities without the meanness added in. I count them as being among mine. That's how I view it, and I really do. It's like Jerry and Diane. I view them as mine. They're part of my family. That's how I view it. But to my blooded family, Mom, John, I love you. I hope you're doing well. Amy and your children, I hope you're doing well. Randy and your kids and husband, I hope you're doing well. My brother Jason, I hope you're doing well. My brother Zachary, I hope you and your wife and children are doing well. My brother Michael in Oklahoma City, I hope you're doing well. I hope life's treating all of you kindly. To my friend Chris Kimball, I hope that the weather's not too bad. He sent me a message. Hard to believe, but we've got 30-degree temperatures. He lives in Florida, folks, and that's what it's without rhyme or reason right now. My buddy Monty Jones, I hope you're doing well. And all the rest of you that are watching this, know this crippled old fat man loves you. I'm praying for you. I want you to be kind, like that sign up there says. Kindness is needed now more than in the history of this planet. Love you, God bless you, and bye.